Hello, friends, and welcome to the old Bank of Johnston.
So, since it's spooky season, we thought that it would be fun to share some of the kind of scary stories that have happened to us at the bank so far. So, just a disclaimer, they're not like jump out and scare you kind of scary stories, more just strange, some strange occurrences that
Very
we've
strange.
noticed.
Yeah, very strange. I have not mentioned this before on this channel. I think I've mentioned it other places, and I've definitely told some friends about this, but I do not believe in ghosts. Now, I know that a lot of my content on this channel previously has been, and in the future will be, haunted and abandoned things. I do like the allure of the haunted places, but it's not something that I really buy into. However, in my life, there has been some occurrences of unexplainable, some might say supernatural things. And this place has been the source of a couple of those things, which Sarah has experienced here, some with me and some without me being around, and vice versa. So we wanted to tell you about those things.
So when we first moved into the building, I feel like I was just kind of noticing the energy, kind of paying attention to what was going on around us. But my first experience that, something happened that I couldn't explain it. It was the middle of the day. It was just a few days after we had moved all of our things into the downstairs space. So we had kind of piles, stacks of things with trails that we could walk through. And Drayton was on the phone. He was kind of toward the back of the building. I was at the front facing toward him. And I wasn't on my phone. Like, I wasn't really doing anything. I was just kind of looking around, looking at all of our stuff, feeling like pretty overwhelmed, a little bit scared, just a lot going on in that time. So as I was sitting there, there was a paper bag that was right in front of me, probably 5 feet away. And as I was staring at, kind of the stacks of things that were there, the paper bag moved several inches by itself. Like, it just slid right along the floor.
Like an old-time grocery store paper bag. It wasn't it was a Publix bag when you asked for paper, not your regular grocery store bag. Lightweight and moves around easily in the wind, not that type of bag.
Well, and it also had things in it. It had, I think, sweaters or something like that stacked up inside. So, when I saw it happen, I was obviously surprised. And the first thing that I thought was, oh no, we have a mouse or a rat or some other creepy crawly, which for me, that's much scarier and much worse than, a ghost or a spirit. So I got up to look in the bag just to try to figure out like how it could have moved. And there was nothing, no bug, no mouse, no rat, like nothing was there. I also think that it would have been difficult to move the bag the way that it moved without seeing something push it.
I saw it out of the corner of my eye. I definitely heard it, but I didn't think much of it, and I was on the phone. So I wasn't really paying that much attention, but I remember the moment it happening and then it being a little startling for you, and I realized, well, nobody's over there. I thought maybe the wind had blown it, the door being open and a draft or something, and not realizing that the bag had stuff in it. Later made sense that it didn't make sense.
So I didn't say anything while he was on the phone, but after he got off the phone, I told him what happened. You looked around, we tried to figure it out, but who knows?
Yeah, there's been some other things too. She has been traveling at different points since we've been here, and I've been here by myself. And I grew up in a really old house, built in the 1840s, and a lot of creaks and cracks and noises occasionally. Had some really weird things that I remember happening in that home in small town Ohio. But here, there was one evening, there's been a couple evenings when she was gone, where I'm just in the downstairs, and upstairs, it's a pretty drafty place. So upstairs, the door, right now it's actually off, and we're working on that project, refinishing this front door. But when it was just kind of swinging in the wind, every now and again it'd just move a little bit, but it was latched, and there's a chain on it that you could hear move around. Well, one evening, close to dark, the door really moved hard, and I thought maybe that's a draft, but it was a very calm day. There was no reason for it, and it happened a couple of times where the door just very aggressively moved shut, and you could hear the chain rattle. So it was startling, and it was something enough where I thought, maybe there's a critter up here, and that probably is what it is. Maybe just a cat, neighborhood cat, or a raccoon or something made his way up here. But I did come up and check it. Nothing was around, but who's to say? You know, it could have been anything. Mm-hmm. There has been a couple times, though, that things happen a little more aggressively than that. I got a little nervous just last week, actually. She was on the phone with me on a night away, and I could swear somebody was in the building with me. And it could happen. I mean, there's some people who walk around the neighborhood sometimes, and we've heard of some thefts around in history here, but it's a very safe town, so it's unlikely. So I did get startled enough where I picked up a weapon. I had a hatchet, and I walked around here and checked out everything that I could. And I'm one that if I hear a noise, I'm going after it right now. I'm going to go find out what that is, because I'm not going to be like creeping around and scared. I'm just going to go for it. So I've had to do that at least 10 times. And most of the time it's turned out to be like a bird that got in or something like that. But that can still scare you, know, hearing something like that.
Absolutely. And then something that both of us have experienced, I think it was last week, I was standing at our sink. We only have one sink, so we kind of share it for everything. I was brushing my teeth, so I was, looking down at the sink, and Drayton came over beside me, and I just thought, like, oh, he's waiting to use the sink, or, who knows what he's doing. But I just heard him walk up beside me and was, kind of standing there waiting. So, finishing up brushing my teeth, and I heard a noise to my left in the other direction. I turned to look, and there was Drayton putting up a ladder, doing something. So I realized, like, that was not Drayton who was standing next to me. There was nothing. I didn't see anything by the time I looked over. But as soon as it happened, I said, hey, babe, I thought that you were right here beside me. Like, it was very strange. Were you over here? And he said, no, I've been in this other area. But he said that he had experienced something like that in that same location.
Yeah, about 2 weeks ago. That was the freakiest thing I think that has happened, because I really believed that she was standing right next to me, and it was standing at the sink. Same thing, you can't really hear if somebody's talking, but you know that feeling that you can tell somebody's in the room with you, like your human sonar? You can tell something's there. Something was there. Something was there.
I mean, I heard it walk up, so there was something.
There has been times I've heard, like, as of walking, not total like footsteps, say, but a couple of steps, maybe up here when there's nothing going on. Yeah. But they say it's not the dead you have to worry about, it's the living. And there has been some living things that have startled us too.
Yes. So I'll tell the beginning of this story. You can add whatever you feel comfortable sharing.
Yeah, I was naked during this story.
So probably the worst thing that has happened since we've been in this building. One night, it was pretty late. We were getting ready to go to sleep. I was already in bed. Drayton was doing something, and I kept hearing some noise, like, something moving around. So I got up, I looked around, and I made up in my head that it was some plastic that was kind of blowing around. And I was like, okay, everything's fine. Headed back to bed, got cuddled in, and a few minutes later, Drayton came back in, and we heard the noise, and I said, oh, I checked that. It's just that plastic that you put up over the window. And Drayton was like, okay. So we both got into bed, getting ready to go to sleep, and we keep hearing this noise. And in my mind, I'm thinking, like, it's nothing to worry about. Go to sleep. But Drayton decided, I'm going to get up and see what's going on.
It was too aggressive. Strange noise, a lot of crumbling around. And
It sounded like somebody was brushing against the brick, and it was like, the little pellets of brick were falling down. So yeah, it did get louder, and I felt less convinced that it was the plastic. So Drayton got up to investigate. Do you want to share your experience with that?
Yeah, well, when I got up, I realized that it wasn't just maybe a palmetto bug that would be crawling up the wall, which happens pretty often during the summertime here. But it was much bigger than a palmetto bug, made a lot more noise than one of those little critters. It was about a 3 or 4 foot black snake that was crawling up the wall, straight up the wall. I didn't even know snakes really did that.
Never seen
I guess
that
they get in
before.
trees, so it makes sense. But to watch it happen was really freaky. And then by the time I got Sarah's attention and a tool to remove the snake, it was halfway up into the tin ceiling with maybe no chance of it getting out of there and freaking us out for a long term. So she left the premises.
I
and then
am a scaredy cat. I went straight out of the building. I was like, let's lock the door and head out. I've had enough.
I took care of the snake, I thought, and then I went to find it and it was gone. So we might have a ghost snake somewhere in the building. I'm not really sure. Never saw it again. I
thank
retrieved it
goodness.
from the ceiling with about 6 inches left of its gigantic long body left visible. I was able to get it down and never saw it again. So hopefully it's okay.
I hope it stays that way, because I really don't want to see him again. We want that kind of snake around. That may be part of the reason that we didn't have any mice or rats or anything like that to worry about. But the snakes need to stay outside. They're not allowed to come in.
Yesterday we had a bird in the downstairs. The day before there was a little bird up here, just hanging out. We don't mind that much. They aren't that startling. Snakes are not welcome.
No, and I do have a little video of it that I'll send to you in case you want to put that into this video. Oh my God, there's a snake in here. It looks a lot less scary on my phone when I'm looking at the video, but in person it was terrifying.
So all of that to say, there has been some spooky things that have happened here at the bank. Nothing really scary so far, but if you were one to believe in ghosts or the supernatural, you might be inclined to think that there is something happening here. And there has been stories of many business owners here. The first banker from the bank, or the first president of the bank, I guess you would say, is buried nearby. And we'd like to go visit his gravesite and pay our respects to him and to some of the other people that we know have worked in here. There's an attorney we learned about that had an office here, a dentist, the gun store. There's people in the neighborhood that some might say could be haunting the place, but I don't feel like the place is haunted myself.
I wouldn't say haunted. I feel like nothing has felt scary. Like, for sure, I would be the first one leaving if there was anything that seemed, at all scary. I can't even watch scary movies. Like, I am a fraidy cat. So, yeah, if something is whispering, get out, I'm getting out. I will not be sticking around. But I feel like, there is some kind of energy here. And so far it's been welcoming, and yeah, we haven't felt afraid of it, but it's still, it's a little scary sometimes.
Yeah, just startling.
Yes.
But I feel good in the place. I like it here, and we're here to stay. So, and for the future, you can probably see behind us, you may or may not notice that there's a couple less doors in the background here. We've been getting some things done. So it's not just the water project that you've seen in the last video, that you'll be seeing the full fix repair of our water leak in the upcoming videos. It's not just that, it's not just the front door, it's all kinds of little things that we've discovered that we can accomplish on this building that I wasn't even expecting to record all of these little things, but I've found in the last few weeks I've started about 10 different projects, 10 different videos coming up very soon. So look forward to all that. I hope you enjoy this festive, spooky season and all that goes along with it. I love the fall time. It's so fun. We have a couple pumpkins we're decorating the front with. If you're around Johnston, you know the whole town is very festive right now with a bunch of scarecrows and pumpkins all over the place. Makes me start craving some apple cider right now. Maybe we should go get some apple cider.
Sounds good to me.
Yeah. Thanks for joining us today, friends. We really appreciate it. We'll see you in the next video.
Happy Halloween. I don't want to drink this. I don't know how long it's been out.
Since this morning, I did it from water jug.
Here, I think we should do a thumbnail like this. Like, ah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
I don't know what you were doing, babe.